applauding you for being here. It fills my soul to see you here this morning, because that means you're true warriors. You're true persistent, keep going, double down warriors, and I appreciate that. So I want to welcome you to this sacred space of Huston-Tillotson University, Austin's oldest institution of higher learning and Central Texas's only historically black college or university. We're humbled and honored to host this vigil, this rally, any rally that moves towards building a beloved community here in Austin. We all have a shared goal. That goal is to rally together in solidarity to build a beloved community. This one verdict is a victory that we should not take lightly, but we should recognize it for what it is. It's one verdict. The fight continues. On the same day, like Chaz said, of this guilty verdict, a 16-year-old Makia Bryant was killed. To quote my dear friend Jared Lindauer from the Anti-Defamation League, that verdict was a sign of just how abysmally broken the system is, that this verdict carries the weight that it does of so much celebration for one verdict. The verdict does at least show a small vulnerability in the armor of police impunity. This is a sign of hope. I feel hopeful. We can exhale a bit, we can breathe a bit, but we cannot breathe a sigh of relief, because not just yet, the battle continues. Darnella Frazier, the teenager who had strength and composure to film the murder of George Floyd for 7 minutes and 46 seconds, is a hero. Darnella was a part of what they called a bouquet of humanity on that fateful day of May 25th of 2020. The prosecutor Jerry Blackwell's reference of a bouquet of humanity is very appropriate. And standing before me today, sitting, kneeling, is another bouquet of humanity. Darnella Frazier and those that stood with her showed courage, and they roared for justice. A bouquet of humanity, all races, ethnicities, and ages, strangers to each other, but with a common cause. The struggles persist, bouquet of humanity here in Austin, not just with the criminal justice system. There's tremendous inequities in our city and beyond, in housing, education, healthcare, the economy, the list goes on. That verdict didn't fix any of that. And we are not a powerless people. Bouquet of humanity, we are a powerful people, but it requires will, the will that you show today by showing up today, the will to push policy changes, the will to do the heart work, the will to learn and learn from our history, the will to vote, the will to hold ourselves and our lawmakers and our elected officials accountable, the will to do what is right and just. For example, the verdict is the verdict, but now for policy changes. While the U.S. House passed Democrats' George Floyd Justice in Policing Act for the second time in March, the Senate still has yet to advance any police reform bill of its own. That's not okay. But what have we done as citizens to promote that? And just think of the impact just in this crowd of people who reached out to their senator and voiced their opinions and had an opinion and hold their lawmakers accountable. That's how we affect change, a continual shoulder against that moral arc to bend it towards justice in your own sphere of influence. We live in a once-in-a-generation lifetime with an opportunity to promote unity and not division. This is a once-in-a-generation lifetime. Our real opponent against hate, to fight against hate, is not white people. It's white supremacy. The battle is against white supremacy. We held the Stop Asian Hate rally right here on this campus last weekend. And I hope that Austin continues to build and nurture alliances and solidarity long after the vigils, the hashtags, the rallies, the network news reporting on a nightly basis, long before people have Black Lives Matter signs in their yard, long after it's popular to be a part of the movement, because it's just a moment if we don't take advantage of it. So in your own sphere of influence, keep showing up on the front lines of the movement, on your job, in your life, with your family, with your friends. Don't laugh at inappropriate jokes. Look around and make sure that other people, that everybody doesn't look like you, and at your workplace. Make sure you stand up for people who don't have the voice, have a voice for them. Focus on listening, learning, supporting each other. Go beyond being an ally, be an accomplice, and a co-conspirator. Have the will, have the courage to speak up. Have the courage to be unapologetically who you are, and unapologetically double downing on solidarity. So before you leave here today, pour hope into someone, encourage someone, because this is not an easy fight, but it's an important fight. Support someone, strengthen another warrior to build the will to continue in the struggle, because the struggle is real. And the struggle is only long-lasting as long as everyday citizens like you and I, these bouquets of humanity, stand up for what's right and just, for civil rights and for social justice. Huston-Tillotson stands in solidarity in forever, for 146 years, standing here in East Austin as the intellectual heartbeat, standing for what's right, and being unapologetically a proud, historically Black college in Austin, Texas. Thank you.
All right, up next we have an amazing Black woman who's one half of a local powerhouse group, Riders Against the Storm, and also a part of the Dawa Fund, which has given back to the community so much during Winter Storm Uri. Ki Dada.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling? Oh, I thought we had a victory and a celebration. How y'all doing? Yeah, that's right. I want to just have a few words before I get into my poem, and it'll lead into my poem, and it'll kind of crystallize some of the things that that we're here for today. One of my main objectives in life is to refresh and invigorate people's imaginations. Because if you can't see it, you can't believe it, you can't actualize it, you can't make it real. So in that space, it's really important that our minds are held whole, kept strong, are nourished, that we can see things and see ourselves in each other and recognize that we have an effect on whatever we deem as an opposition. We are colorful, we are bright, we are smart, we are joyous, and we can make things flow, shift, morph, grow, expand, contract, based all on what we hold in ourselves, in our internal worlds, and how we express that externally. I say that all to say, have a good time changing. Enjoy yourself as you change, because we don't have to allow the fury to be the only thing that fuels us. The joy can fuel us. The togetherness can fuel us. The shifting and the excitement of it that allows us to feel what is possible can be something just completely magnanimous and alive. And that can also be an exciting kind of fuel. So several years ago, I wrote a poem, and that poem had to do with hair. And it was really exciting because at the time, it was really not cool actually to have natural hair when I wrote this poem. But you see, because of that imagination that was held, that there's a whole industry created now for us to be supportive of Black women in their natural state. And it's very, very exciting to me because I know that that poem, that movement, those people, those women who decided to embrace that for themselves made that possible for us to live in this day and age. And the work we're doing now around social justice will indeed be the space we live in sooner than we think. So this poem is called Hairpiece. I hope you enjoy it, because I enjoy it. All right. See, don't turn away because I caught you staring. You seem to have a problem with it, so I'm going to let you know all about my hair. You see, in each strand lies a story from mother to daughter to grandma to auntie. To know about it is to have an insight about me. You see, my hair can stand up straight like a soldier in the cavalry, or for lack of a better word, my hair is just plain old nappy. My hair has been fried, dyed, and slicked to the side, twisted, burned, turned, clipped, whipped, crimped, blown out, grown out, and then just torn out. Like the many sides of my being, my hair has taken on many formations. Some were absolutely beautiful, and others caused great humiliation. But I'm stuck on the black woman's fixation to use our hair to aid us in assimilation. You see, we assimilated because we believed them when they told you that you and your hair were ugly. Oh, black girl, cover up your hair so I don't have to see the one thing that makes me realize how unique you are to me. They told you, and so it finally sunk in. Then the hair processes did begin. It started off kind of slow, but ended up like a drug with every fluff of the ends and every painful tug. What's this? A comb? A fire? Something new has just transpired. Sitting in the kitchen, grease all up on your neck, clenching your teeth as you start to sweat, praying that your mother will make a move that you will soon regret. Ow, mama! Then after that, you didn't play when she told you to hold your ear back. Girl, you wouldn't get burned if you would just relax. Relax, relax. You telling me to relax? I wish my hair would just relax. I wish my hair would be so free. I just wish my hair wasn't so ugly. You see, instead of connecting with the spiritual, we commenced a 6-week to 3-month ritual. And then throwing upon your head for beauty's sake, a fire to commence your whole body to quake. You can't move because you're waiting for that perm to take it out, take it out. I can't take it no more, take it out. So we finally did. We found out we were Nubian queens. We didn't come second on nobody's list, fall for any more of your tricks. Black beauty was something we could no longer resist. Afro chicks with they afro pics, roll with they afros, and they rode thick because they were beautiful. Beauty came naturally. They were naturally beautiful, but wait a minute. Something bad is about to happen. Something evil is about to unfurl. A fool is born and he invents the jerry curl, Lord. You wouldn't dare steal anything because you know they catch you quick. All they'd have to do is follow the drips, follow the drips, follow the drips. Shower cap on your hair when you wanted to go to bed. Black people's couches were a mass hysteria, afraid to let people in like that family from coming to America. But for what? Because you believed them when they told you you and your hair were ugly. Well, that's all right. That's okay. Because now they're the ones that can't relate when I talk about jam bergamot sulfate. Now they're the ones that can't get down with me when I talk about TCB. Now they're the ones that have no notion when I talk about cramps in your neck from that jerky motion of regaining your sanity with every drop of pink lotion, see. You don't have to like my hair, because my hair is just for me, just for me. Just for me, my hair is just for me. It's something that comes so naturally. Can't believe how much it's grown. Like my hair is powerful. Nappy headed sister that broke your comb. Don't forget where you come from. Said nappy let it, not dread it. I won't regret it. Twisted with some beeswax. Hair is beautiful. Do believe that. Afros, cornrows, no matter how you put it, your hair is beautiful.
That cultural reference just for me in there. I know the fam appreciate that one. Up next we have Cynthia Simons from the Texas Women's Justice Coalition.
Hello everyone, how are y'all doing? So good to have you all here. I just want to speak a little bit about what's been going on and correlated to it being a woman's justice issue. There are so many times where black and brown bodies, where their children, they're your husbands, your brothers, the over-policing kills them. It takes them away from us, and women are left to deal with this tragedy. And some of you have lost loved ones, and after you lose someone, you're not the same anymore. Incarceration as a whole is on the decline, but for women, it's on the increase. Women are prescribed opiates at a higher rate than other individuals, than males, so they go through incarceration more. The state jail is one of the highest recidivism rates, yet there is no system for reentry. There is no transitional home. So women come back into the world and they don't have these supports. And it trickles down into your children. It's generational. they're not able to give them the tools to succeed. And a lot of what they're doing and how they're behaving stems from trauma. And people think that when someone dies in your family that it's just that person, but it's everybody in the community that woman touches, because she's not able to be her best for her children. She's not able to be the best at her job. Her mind is not focused, so she cannot get the education or pass the tools down to her children. So this is an issue that we have to stay fired up about. This is an issue that we have to stay consistent on. We have to talk to our legislators. We have to talk to our senators. We have to get down to city council, and we have to make our demands, and we have to methodically make our demands. We can't go down there and not have a plan put together, or not have a plan that we're going to continue to execute and follow up on, because that is what they do know, that we started, but we might not finish it. So we have to prove them wrong. Just like this movement started so strong and so fierce, we have to keep that going if we want our demands met. And they are no longer requests. We have to keep them as demands.
Thank you so much. Up next, and I got to give a shout out to my deputy director, Rocky, for making sure we include as many voices as we can. Next up, we have a young lady who has been on the front lines and been a victim of systemic inequities herself. Without further ado, Naomi Wilson from Black Trans Leadership Austin.
Hi, everybody. My name is Naomi, and I'm a co-founder of Black Trans Leadership Austin. And hello. Something that I actually think about all the time is I was just asked, hey, how are you doing? And my natural response is okay, right? I think that's normal. But what I'm recognizing is that okay isn't the real answer. The real answer is I feel terrified. I feel oppressed. I feel like everyone's against me and I don't feel safe anywhere. And the reason why I say okay is because that's the norm for people like me, queer, Black, trans people of color, It's quite shitty. I'm very fortunate that I have a very optimistic personality, and my smile is really big, but I'm not happy. I'm not comfortable. I don't feel safe. And the ruling of Derek Chauvin, as guilty, it's not enough. I'm really surprised that it took that long to get justice. I'm surprised that we had to wait a year to see him, sentenced. It's a shame to me. And I wish that direct action, I think, is just so much more valuable than relying on the system as is and relying on our government. We saw George Floyd get murdered. I would have liked a little more action than waiting a year. I'm sorry. Something else that I'd like to speak about is how George Floyd's case is only one case, and right after that, there were several other instances of police brutality and police killing people, and it was a week ago that they killed another child who was unarmed. They have no training. I personally think that I won't feel safe and I won't feel secure and happy and free until there is no more police. I'm so sorry, ACAB, fuck the police, they're trash. I think I'll feel safe when every cop dollar is given to people who need it, people to the community actually keeping us safe. Their money needs to go to housing, to health care, to education, to social services, to community